Well, good afternoon. Welcome to Trenčín, Slovakia. It looks like there's a lot of things to see and do and explore here. Just took a train over, about an hour ride or so. Trenčín is the 8th largest city in the country of Slovakia. Population of about 55,000 people, if you believe the folks at Wikipedia. So we're going to walk through the park. Some folks over here already out enjoying the afternoon. Finally got a break in the weather. It's been nothing but rain for the last several days. Today only a 40% chance of precipitation. Right now it's sunny. There are some clouds up covering the mountains that are looking like they may develop into some storms this afternoon, but it's still early in the day. So hopefully we'll be able to get out and explore a little bit. So we're going to walk through the park here. Should take us into the main city area if I read the map correctly. I'm going to grab a coffee, maybe a bite to eat, and then explore Trenčín. All right, so mission successful on the cup of coffee. Figure I'm going to get the hard hike out of the way early, and that's going to be up to the Trencin-Castle. Dates back to the earliest acknowledgement of it is like the year 171, so take it back almost 2,000 years ago. But it's an uphill hike. It's going to be cobblestones and elevation the entire way, but it should afford some pretty fabulous views over the town of Trenčín. And I guess if I get thirsty, there's cafes and pubs along the way. All right, to the castle. So this is the very first castle gate heading up to Trencin Castle. It was built in the latter part of the 1400s, so it's been standing for over 600 years. You see a little bit of the hike coming up here, and the sun is out and starting to heat up a little bit, so we'll continue on as we go underneath the first gate. We'll ascend that hill there. Coming up. So €8 to enter the castle grounds complex. I don't know what the €8 gets me, if it gets me inside the castle up here or just into the grounds, but you see some pretty sweeping views, and pretty genius of them to do it this way, because it's not a very long walk up, maybe 10-15 minutes, but it is a very steep walk up. And I'd say most people are going to say when they get up here, hell, just pay the €8 to get in, because I've come all this way. I might as well finish the walk in. So we're going to explore a little bit around the Trencin Castle, see if we can go a little higher or what's up here worth exploring. So hopefully we'll come back with some more interesting sights from the castle. Well, I think currently I am the highest person in Trenčín, Slovakia. And I mean that in a good way. This is the top of the Trencin Castle. The wind has picked up significantly since I walked out here, so hopefully it's not interrupting the audio. That's the stadium for AC Trenčín football team, plays here. And we started way down there. This is actually where we came through that first gate, a little bit up that hill, and that takes you into where you pay to get in. It's €8 total to come in, and it's worth every cent of it. This is probably the best castle I've seen in Europe. I haven't seen many, but this one's pretty significant. Give you a look at the town of Trenčín here. Train tracks right down below. That's the main train station back that direction. And other than the wind that's whipped up here recently, this has been a pretty remarkable place to visit. Down here is where we started. That's exactly the lane that I started coming up after the cup of coffee. So right down there. And then you kind of hook around to the left and all the way up. Matter of fact, that gate right there is the first gate. Let's go on this video. Maybe shoot a little bit more on the way down. Some pretty interesting things I saw on the way up, but good afternoon from high atop windy Trencin. Yeah, before walking back down, you give a look on the other side of the tower here, some of the ramparts that kind of, you have to basically take the maze to come up here, so you kind of zigzag back and forth. You can see down right below some people that are just starting, hello flag, where the ascent is. You actually come through these gates and up these steps here, and then you can kind of see some folks over on that side, and then out beyond is a national forest, I believe. You can kind of see right through there. It starts like some hiking trails that go up into the forest. So this is the other side opposite the city, but a lot of great views from up here on top of the castle in Trencin. How windy is it? The flag is blown over the rail. We'll help it back down. There we go. All right, we're going to start our descent from Trencin-Castle. Kind of roll down from the tower. Walking back down the path that'll take us into the ramparts. Kind of crazy to think that some of this stuff dates back almost 2,000 years ago. Walk back into the wind. Well, it wasn't breezy when I started, but man, it really picked up. Another little tower here off to the side. I haven't been over there yet. I think I'm actually going to go back that way because I came in through the Jeremiah's tower. So I'm going to go back this way. Don't know how to play chess, but if I did, that would be the place to go. Up there afar is where we just were. Climb these steps and a little more crowded on this side. Bog River. All right, well, let's wrap up time here at the castle. We get out of the wind and we will head back down to the city. Looks like I'm not going to do it this way. This is a no exit right here. Although maybe there's something cool to look at through the window here. Not at all. Good place to build a campfire and get out of the wind. All right, more coming from the city of Trencin. Now back down off of Matthew's Tower. That's the name of the big column that we were up in moments ago, looking down over everything. So back a little bit lower. Got these little courtyard areas and these little stone walls that kind of represent the fortress of the entire castle. Take a peek over, see the ramparts kind of snake down. That's how we'll have to go to get out of here. Kind of zigzag around, but you got little these little turrets or towers along the way. This one here included. A very, very interesting place to come visit here. Just maybe an hour plus train ride outside of the capital of Slovakia. And I'll say it again, maybe one of the best, probably the best one that I've had an opportunity to visit. All right, more to come from Trencin. There is a really ton of things to see inside these castle walls. Look at this. There's nobody even down here. Wow. Got something set up, maybe like a little show or something. See some bleachers. All right, we'll keep exploring. So leaving the castle, I exited on the back side, and that put me out right next to that forest that I showed from the top of the tower back there. And this will also get me down into the city center, but it'll be a much different walk than the one I had up, which was basically the castle walk with all the visitors. This one looks to be a little bit more solitary, not as many people. Actually, I just see one person walking towards me. Also get a little bit more shade coming down this direction as well. So we will hike. So I've gone on the other side of the city in the train tracks from the castle side. And from where I was high above on the castle, looking across the river, looked like a maybe like a beach club or maybe like a beer garden or something like that. So I thought I would go explore that direction and see what's over on this side. I think that is a train bridge that way. And this looks like a lot of cyclists, some basketball goals set up on here. Stopped down in the city, had lunch. Got a pizza pie and 2 pints of Pilsner Quell. The total was about $13. And it's only probably 5:30 in the afternoon now. So I'm going to go explore a little bit more with the daylight that remains and see if I can't get across the river. So across the train tracks I've come, and when I was on top of the castle, I saw what looked to be like a beach area or maybe a garden area. And so I'm down here to try to explore that possibility. And I'm thinking right here on the left, although I don't know, it looks like it might be campsites. Because you can go all the way across the Vag River. I learned the name of the river. And it doesn't look like there's anything but forest on that part. Up here is the football stadium, which we saw from high atop the castle. Get a nice mid-afternoon view back up to the castle. I've seen some photos of it just on my phone of it lit up at night. It looks fantastic. So I'm thinking the Blue Bridge may take us across, but now there looks like some people coming off a boat. So I wonder if you have to ferry to get over there. I'm not sure. But if we can find out, we will come back to it. So still exploring Trencin, Slovakia. So I was about to give up on the search for whatever I saw going on across the river, because it looks like this is just a campground type area in here. But I remember I was seeing tents, and it looked like a beach area and things like that from up on the castle. So if you come back across the bridge, I think this is what I was seeing. It was like a gigantic water park. Kind of see some tents set up through there. So I'm not paying to go in and visit that. So I think what I'm going to do with the remaining time here in Trencín is we're now crossing the Vág River, because I'm going to go back into the city center, walk through there, and then maybe find a cold beverage. Football stadium off to the left. Castle straight up ahead. All right, to the city center we go on this lovely 78-degree afternoon. Call it 23 Celsius. We're back into the main city area here of Trencín, and a little bit after 8 o'clock right now, as the sun starts to fall behind the mountains. Probably walk through the city here for a little bit and close out this trip to Trencín. For a town of 55,000 people, according to Wikipedia, and only an hour train ride outside the capital of Bratislava, this is certainly worth taking a day trip up here to visit. There's quite a few things to see and do, quite a few things that I did not get a chance to do on this trip in. A lot of places closed up, being a Sunday. And this is where I came down, that path right there. You can hike that up and come back down to the forest. That'll get you up to the castle itself. But a very nice city, very clean. Very well laid out, friendly people. And that castle itself is a highlight. As I've mentioned on several occasions, not that I've done a lot of castles exploring around, but one of the nicest ones, if not the best one, that I've ever had an opportunity to go up and visit. See a few folks sitting out here at the Cafe Omar. You look back up to the castle as the sun sets. I've seen some photos of it at nighttime. It looks phenomenal. I'm not sure we'll get that chance this evening, because we do have a train to catch back to the big city. This looks like it's set up maybe for like concerts or shows. Nothing going on this evening, but again, a very, very good afternoon here in Trencín, Slovakia. All right, let's find a pub, grab a beer, and then jump a train. Good evening from Trencín.